Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Um, I've got several videos that I'm going to try to patch together eventually here and make them into workable YouTube videos. But tonight I'm working on one in particular, actually two of them. It's going to be a two-parter. I put on tonight on Facebook. Today is July 6th, 2016. Um, the first person, I sort of put a little thing on Facebook saying, hey, need some ideas for some videos. The first person said, hey, try doing some flowers. And I said, okay, that sounds interesting. And yes, I can do some flowers because I've done some before. Right now I'm stretching for the stem of the flowers. That ought to do it. I'm only going to do a half a dozen. And I'm going to make them a couple of different ways. Of course, one of the things you need to have for flowers is some leaves to go on the flowers themselves. And these aren't going to be very big, and they're not going to look like much to begin with. As you can see, I'm just pinching and pulling, and these are the leaves that are going to go on these flowers. Second thought. Again, I'm only going to make a half a dozen or less. Got to keep it simple, short and sweet. Do the deal, right? A couple more of these. Yeah, I'll have to get 1, 2. This will make 3 flowers. That should be enough for the video. Pinch and pull. They make good leaves. They will make good leaves, believe me. Okay. You know, I should have given that just a little bit more time to cool. I usually use a 10 mil oxygen concentrator and a 5 mil oxygen concentrator. But for this little thing, as small as it is, I think just a 5 mil oxygen concentrator should do the job, because again, I'm not making these very big. I'm just, oh yeah. They're going to be small. Okay, I'm going to kick it down a little bit more. There we are. One way that you can do this is petal for petal, and then smash them. And you 4 to, I don't know if there's supposed to be an even or odd number, but 4 to 8 petals will be fine, depending upon how you feel about it. Okay. Looks like 5 is going to be the lucky number. Yay. Okay. Now you just heat these back up, smash them out. Okay, simple flower. Looks like there's going to be enough room for one more petal. See if I can put it in there. Should go right about there. See there, it looks like it needs to have 6 petals. And sometimes you have room to put them in, so do it. Okay. Press. Now, for the little, of course, when you want one. Okay. First, we're going to get a punty here. And we're going to put the little leaves on that I made just a second ago. All you got to do is cold weld, tack it on, then tack it onto the flower. Heat it up, point it out. And it's very important to make sure that when you're welding the 2 pieces together, that you're not just sticking them together. Oops, I'm way out of camera range here when I did that. That you're not just sticking them together, but you're making one piece of glass, not 2 pieces of glass stuck together. Okay, touch it too. Bring the next one in, do the same thing. Heat it, orange to orange, touch it too, seal it in. I think I got more than enough for the leaf, so I'm going to turn around and stretch out, make enough for another leaf, I think. Come on. It's not at quite the right angle I want. There we go. There's always an angle to get the flame to your piece of glass. You just got to find it. Okay? Okay. That's flower number 1. And heat it off. Boom. I will show these in the picture as we go. Okay, and now I'm going to switch this around a little. The next one, we'll make a white one. And I'll do a black center again like I did that one. That looked pretty cool. Right? Right. With me so far? Basically, all I'm doing... Now this one's going to be different. I'm not going to do individual petals. Okay? Heat it up. Flatten it. There we go. That ought to be pretty. Now rim it out a little more. Okay. Round ring so far. Now we'll dot it with that little black in the very, very middle. There it goes. There we go. Next, high-tech cutting device. Pair of scissors I got, I think, surgical scissors or whatever, were at a flea market or whatever, and I heat and nip. Heat and nip. Make sure that you get the glass hot enough. You don't want to hear the glass crunching. You want to hear the glass sort of just snipping apart like a piece of... Anyway, you'll understand the principle. Get it hot enough and nip. Now basically, turns around that I got the same amount of petals that I got the last time, right? With these, all I have to do is heat and pull a little bit. And again, depending upon how many nips you put into it, is how many flowers you can get, flower petals you can get out of it. Okay? I like little things. And again, you can turn around and smash them, heat them up a little bit and smash them too. Okay. Again, this time I'm going to try to put these petals on to the cold weld a little bit better. So I have a little bit more control at how I'm heating them. Not the petals, but the leaves. Heat, touch, and it got a little hot, but it'll do the job. You can bend that a little bit. Now heat just the leaf and pull it. Okay. Do that again. Put a leaf on the other side. Now this is very touchy at best because you want to make sure you keep your fingers outside of the flame, right? Don't want to get burning on you. But I tell you, glass is hot enough to cut you, well, hot enough to burn you, and sharp enough to cut you. And if you can't take the heat or the sharpness, I'm sorry. If I sat down and counted if I had a nickel for every time I got burned, I'd be pretty rich right now. Truly. You know, that's a 20, and that's a dollar bill for every 20 burns. But over the last 30 some odd years, well, look at there. My tweezers were hot enough to melt into the plastic. That's why that grill lighter that I just have there does not have gas in it. All it is that pyogesic crystal starter that they have in those little things. Okay, now this one, next one, we're going to try to silver fume it a little. Okay, we got flower number 2. Ta-da! Again, you'll see these, or I might just try to do clip a video together. I know I haven't been doing that, but I need to find a better video editor that gets the higher quality with my glass. Okay, video or flower number 3. If you have an idea what you're doing or what you think you're doing, go for it. You might come up with a different idea than you thought, but sometimes it's okay to go for it, truly. Now, basically, this one is going to be just like the last one, and it's going to be just a little bit bigger. Well, that'd probably be better. I'm going to... Okay. I had an idea. And it's better to start from scratch and make it right. Okay. Now, do I have a piece handy? Andy? Where's it at? Thunk, bang, move, bash, crash, kawump. Nope, 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 no, no. Okay. Guess I gotta do it with something bigger and work my way to smaller. Actually, that'll work. Duh. Already drawn out into a little tip. The whole 9 yards. Just what I'm looking for. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. If you hear that rap, 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 rap in the background, you got frogs. It's a cool thing to have frogs. Okay. Now let's pull that off. Nip it and flare it out a little bit. Uh-oh. Might collapse on me. There we go. CSRs. See if I can open it up. Oh, darn. Okay. Enough said. Where's it at? I'm learning that editing these things is a bigger headache than I want to imagine. So, here we go one more time. The idea I had was a daffodil type flower. And every time I've done it so far, it's screwed up somehow. And yes, I make mistakes. And you've seen that in a lot of my other videos. But I'm also learning that editing is fun sometimes. Okay? Matter of fact, I've been doing it with this, but I'm going to take this out of the way for now so that I can see a little bit more detail and not to make the final errors that I made in that last set. Okay, first of all, it's going to be like the second flower where I nip. The first two flowers came up, boom, boom, boom. They were great. I liked them. I'm glad that I was able to throw them all together and get them going. Third one, oh, it's a charm, all right. Now, I tried to do a hollow tube cup for this daffodil, but you know what? It's a small thing. It's only supposed to be a representation. Yes, you can put the detail in it if you want to, but this'll do. Okay, sort of almost like a poppy right now. Poppy, poppy, poppy. You know, those little things that they give out on Veterans Day. Heat, heat, nip. Heat and nip. Oop, almost missed that one. And you got to make sure that you get the glass hot enough to cut, that you're not crunching it, but nipping it. Just like a piece of taffy or fondant. I guess that's a good analogy. Okay. Now let's see if I can flatten these, pull them out. I also want to silver fume this to give it a nice yellowish color. An interesting yellowish color anyway. Okay, here we go. Point out some little things here. Miniatures are one of my strong points. I love doing miniatures. It is my forte. I've been watching other glass blowers do some really tiny stuff. I think there's one guy from India that's really doing some interesting stuff. I'm glad that he's made his way to Torch Talk. That's one of the Facebook channels that I go to. Now, doesn't look like much. Let's put the leaves on it, just like we did the last two. When you're putting the leaf, you're just doing a cold weld at this point for you to hold on to it. And here is where you get it hot and stick them together. Now you go back onto the leaf and shape it a little bit. Okay. Now you could make a whole flower just out of these leaves if you wanted to. Do a whole bunch of colored petals like this and do 3 or 4 different colors into the flower if you wanted to. Now that's a possibility. I just thought of it. Okay. The only thing that stops you is your imagination. And you telling you, I can't do that. But you know what? You're capable of more things than you think you can do. You just got to give it a try. Okay. Enough said. Again, I apologize if you can hear some wind blowing. And if you hear the frogs chirping in the background, they're saying, hey, I want a mate to come over this way. Now, this is a piece of quartz, and you can tell the difference. It has a nice tone quality. Here's a piece of glass right next to it. Has a clung, and this has a ting to it, okay? Anyway, on the end of this piece of quartz is some silver. That red orange spot that's glowing really hot is silver. And what I'm doing is it atomizes and transfers over from the piece of quartz to the piece of glass. And the reason you use silver is that if you were using this with glass and the silver, it tends to bury itself into the glass. But the silver melts at a hotter temperature. I mean, the quartz melts at a hotter temperature. So it's not going to do. And that's how you fume. Simple, basic. Okay. Now I'm going to tilt that a little bit. And so far, we have 3 flowers going on. Not quite the bouquet, but it does look pretty. Now, I know, in for a penny, in for a pound, and not making much more money on it. I'm going to do a miniature rose. No, I'm not. Never mind. Sorry. Maybe another video. Now, those are flowers that I've just made. And from the flowers, I'm going to do a little vase. That was the next little thing somebody asked in my plea to say, hey, I need to find something to do. So we'll go from there. Thank you, and enjoy your day. Okay, these are the final flowers and the vase that I did in another video. Thanks for looking, and enjoy your day.